The last time I saw my sister, she was posting wedding photos with my fiancé. My engagement ring on her finger, a bigger diamond where mine used to be, just to make sure I noticed. I deleted every social media account I had that night. Packed up the apartment we were supposed to share. I cried through the rest of my medical school finals alone. And never spoke to her again. That was 20 years ago. Last week she called me asking for coffee. And what she said when we sat down, I genuinely could not have written it better myself. But before we get there, you need to know what my life actually looks like now. I am a surgeon. I own my home. And 8 years ago, I married Maya, a pediatric nurse I met at a medical conference who smiled at me during the most boring presentation of the entire weekend, like we were sharing a private joke. We talked for 4 hours that first night. She made me laugh in a way I hadn't laughed in years. We got married in Portugal. Small ceremony, just us and the people who actually showed up for us. No performance, no family drama, just two people who chose each other completely. I didn't send Rachel an invitation. I didn't send her anything. Because here's what she did. I was 25. 1 week from finishing medical school finals. 4 years into the relationship I believed was forever. 6 months into an engagement I thought was the beginning of everything. Daniel was my first real love, the kind you don't question. The kind you build your whole future around without even thinking twice. Then one day, he stopped answering my calls. No fight, no warning, nothing. When I finally cornered him, he couldn't even look at me, just stared at the floor and said 4 words. I don't love you anymore. That was it. No explanation, no argument. 4 years? And he gave me 4 words. I spent 2 weeks convincing myself there was someone else. There had to be. People don't just stop loving you overnight. Then my mother called, that particular careful voice, the one that wraps bad news in a long pause before it delivers it. Rachel is dating someone. Silence. It's Daniel. They've been together for a while, and just like that, every single memory rewrote itself in an instant. Rachel touching his arm at family dinners. Rachel calling him handsome in that way she thought was subtle. Daniel suddenly too busy to see me during finals. The walks they took together that I never questioned because she was my sister and he was my fiancé, and I trusted them both completely. I had been such a fool. They got married 6 months later, the same year, like they couldn't wait. Like the second I was out of the picture, they sprinted toward the finish line. And Rachel. She made absolutely sure I saw every single moment of it. Every photo, every update, every milestone posted publicly. In one picture, she was holding her bouquet and laughing, my ring on her finger, that new diamond catching the light. I looked at that photo for a long time. Then I deleted everything, every account, every trace. I threw myself into my residency. 80-hour weeks. Whatever it took to stay too exhausted to think. It took 3 years before I felt like a person again, but slowly, I did. I became a surgeon, bought my own home, built a career that had nothing to do with Daniel or Rachel or the life they took from me. And then I met Maya, and everything I thought I had lost, I realized I hadn't lost at all. I had just been waiting for the right person to give it to. My mother occasionally mentioned Daniel in conversation, his cardiology practice, their big house, how well Rachel looked at Easter. I changed the subject every single time. I had rebuilt my entire life behind a wall I'd constructed very carefully. And I had no intention of letting any of it back in. Then the unknown number called. It's Rachel. Can we meet for coffee? I almost hung up. I don't know why I didn't. The woman who walked into that cafe the next morning was not the sister I remembered. The confidence was completely gone. Dark circles carved under her eyes, hair thrown back in a messy bun, no makeup. Hands wrapped tight around a black coffee like she needed something to hold on to. She didn't waste time. Daniel and I are getting divorced. Almost like a confession, he's been cheating on me for 5 years with his medical assistant. I said nothing. Because what was there to say? I know what I did to you was terrible, but I need you to know something. He never stopped talking about you. Even on our wedding day, he brought up how smart you were. I spent 20 years trying to compete with a ghost. I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. Then she reached across the table and touched my hand. You're still single, right? Mom said you never got married. That hopeful expression on her face, like she was about to offer me something good. Daniel told me last night that he made a mistake, that he's still in love with you. I think you two should talk. 20 years? 20 years of silence, of rebuilding, of choosing every single day to move forward. And she sat across from me, genuinely believing I had been waiting, that her leftovers were something I would want. I looked at her for a long moment. Then I picked up my phone and turned the screen toward her. My lock screen. Me and Maya on a beach in Santorini, both laughing, sunset behind us, matching rings right there in the frame, impossible to miss. I've been married for 8 years, Rachel. The color drained completely out of her face. But Mom never said anything. That's because I stopped telling her about my life the day you married my fiancé. She doesn't know my wife's name. She has never been to my house. I built an entire world. And you know absolutely nothing about it. I stood up, left $20 on the table. You didn't take Daniel from me, Rachel. You took someone who didn't love me enough to stay. Someone who went behind my back while I was barely holding myself together. You didn't destroy my life. You just cleared the path. I walked out without looking back. My phone lit up immediately. Rachel, then my mother, then Rachel again. I deleted every message without opening a single one. But that night, I came home to Maya, and that was enough. That has always been enough. Rachel didn't just steal a fiancé. She handed Elena a reason to build something better. The cruelest part of this story isn't the betrayal. It's that Daniel spent 20 years married to the woman who helped him cheat, still thinking about the one he left. Rachel competed with a ghost for 2 decades and lost. Elena didn't win because Daniel came crawling back. She won the day she stopped needing him to.